We are back again, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about how to do effects within After Effects. So right now I have a basic project set up. You can see down here my timeline of my layers. I have a composition, and in my composition right now I just have one photo, and that's this little photo of a dock and it's snowing. Right. I'm gonna bump up my um, rendering so it looks better because I don't want it to look crappy in the tutorial. So anyway, that's all I have set up right now. What we want to do is we're going to add an effect to make real looking snow or realish looking snow. The first thing I want to do in this case is first show you the effects palette, which is over here. So right now, these are the effects. There's hundreds of them. There's some that come automatically with After Effects, and there's some that are very expensive plugins that you can buy and add in. What's really nice about this thing is that I can just come over here and type a random thing like, fire. If I was looking for a fire effect, these would pop up. In this case, we're looking for snow, so I'm going to type snow. I believe Trapcode is one of my add-on plugins, so if you're following along, you probably want to use the CC Snowfall Simulation. I'm going to show you what not to do first, and I'll show you how to really do it. So the automatic default thought would be, okay, I have this effect. I want it to work with this photo. I'm going to drag it to this photo. And I did that, and it didn't really work. Now, why didn't it really work? The effects can get really complicated, and honestly, you have to use each effect before you really know how each effect is used, which I know that sounds stupid, but I apologize. In this case, the CC Snowfall, it should be used on a transparent layer so that we see it above the photo. To do that, I'm going to make a new composition. I'm just going to select new comp. I'm going to call this Snow Effect. I'm going to go back over here. See it open the Snow Effect comp. I'm going to close that out, close out my render key, and I'm just back in comp 1. In my bin, I'm going to grab the Snow Effect. I'm going to drag it to the top above the photo, right? So here's the Snow Effect layer. Nothing's there yet. And here's the photo. With the Snow Effect layer, I'm just going to drag it and apply it. Boom, look, there's snow all of a sudden. Another way I could do it is that with the layer selected, I can double click. Another way I could do it is I could click and hold it and drag it over here. The problem is that sometimes when you have a lot of different objects here, it's hard to know which one you're selecting. Am I selecting the background, the foreground, or what? So I'm a big fan of just selecting the layer and double clicking. So look, there we go. We have snow. With just a few simple clicks, it's like, oh my gosh, it is now snowing in my photo of real snow. Yes, it looks cheeseball, but that's okay. Several things happen once I add the effect. Well, for starters, if I open up the layer, see I have the regular transform tools, but then look, I also have effect tools. Now, why would I have these here? Because just like the transform when you're animating a position, these are all used to control how the effect is animated. In addition, my project bin disappeared. So you notice it's right here, and a new panel showed up, and that's the effects control panel. These are the same as down here, so it's just kind of another way to get to whatever it is you're trying to animate. I'm going to bump this back down just a little now that we're dealing with animations. I'm just going to go to half so it renders a little bit faster. Alright, so I had the snow. If I'm scrolling through, you can see kind of how it's moving. In this case, I think what I want to do is I want to have it kind of zoom in on the dock so it looks like, I mean, this obviously isn't video, but I kind of want it to look like we're moving in like a pan. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to go to the start of my timeline, and I'm going to animate the scale of my dock. Notice I'm on my dock layer. I'm just going to scroll to, okay, this is 40 seconds. We don't really need to animate 40 seconds. I'm just going to focus on 10 seconds. And I'm going to zoom in. Not a ridiculous amount, just about there. And notice I made the keyframe. So now if I scroll back through, we're slowly zooming on the dock. The other thing with this too is I don't like how it's just kind of zooming in on the side of my photo. So I'm going to go back to the start. I'm going to animate the position. I'm going to scroll back to that 10-second mark. And I'm just going to drag it over. Play with my rule of thirds here. Boom, boom, boom. So now if I scroll through, it looks like we're actually panning and zooming at the same time, right? So that's the basic animation for the photo in the background. I'm going to lock that layer, and to lock the layer, I'm just going to press the little lock. And let's go back to the snow animation, right? So I'm going to select my snow layer, and when I do, the options come back up. There are books upon books and videos upon videos on how to use each one of those stupid little effects in After Effects. And it's impossible to have them all memorized. So one of the first things you're going to want to do is that try to decide what it is you want to do, and then see what it's capable of. In this case, this flakes options, if you notice, it adds more flakes. Looking at my real photo, there's kind of a dispersed amount. So I'm going to go ahead and add, maybe about that amount, right? The size, you can control the size. Are they really small or are they really big? In this case, I think I want them smaller, but I want to have a variation. So if I go down to 0, they're all going to be the same size. If I vary the variation, I have little ones and big ones. I'm going to drop this maybe down to 50 for this. Scene depth. I'm guessing off the top of my head that has to do with the z-axis. Since I'm not sure, we'll just leave that one alone. Speed's going to be how fast they fall down. So let's say at the very start, I want them to be at 100%. But then since the camera's panning and moving, they probably should maybe fall a little bit faster because we're moving, so it should look like they're moving faster. So we're going to make them fall just a little bit more. If I scrub through, you really can't tell that it's moving faster, but trust me, they are. So, scene depth, speed, variation. Wind. Wind is obviously how are they moving. I'm not really worried about that right now. Wiggle is the path they take. I'm not seeing the option I want. Maybe I'm using the wrong snow. Oh, yeah. See, I normally use one of the trap code snows, which lets me work a little bit more in the 3D realm. It's fine for what we're doing. So anyway, let me preview what we've done. It's going real slow. It's RAM preview. Now is a good time to show you a neat trick. See this bar? Not the top one, but the little one. If I grab this handle and drag it here, because right now my whole project takes place in the 10 seconds, right? Like I didn't worry about do anything over here. It's just static. I can say, hey, After Effects, only focus on this bit of area. So that way if I do like a RAM preview, it's only going to RAM preview this little bit. It's not going to worry about previewing everything else on the outside of that. Come on. Don't want to wait for this. So get the idea. In this case, I definitely would want some of these flakes to grow bigger because as I'm pushing in, they would seem like they would be coming towards my face. And I do think they're falling a little bit too fast on top of that. But you get the basic idea of how you use effect. Depending on the effect, you may have to create a transparent layer. And in doing this, what we did is we used a comp. We added the effect to the comp, and then I animated the settings for it. It's just a very simple, basic effect. If you want to get a little bit more complicated, you can, but it's just going to take time with playing around. The only other effect I'm going to talk about today has to do with text effects. So let's just delete everything I've done so far. I locked the layer, so I can't delete it. Hold on. Unlock, delete. Oh, my beautiful project, all gone. So I'm going to grab this other photo I have in my bin. I'm going to drag it, drag down. This is just a sunrise the other day. It was pretty wild. Have it fill the frame. So one of the things that you'll end up using a lot in After Effects is a solid layer. What is a solid layer? Well, if I right click down here in the layers, select new and solid. These options will come up. They'll give me a shape dimension and a chance to choose a color. In this case, I'm going to choose this red to match the photo. Click OK, click OK. What did I just do? I just created a solid layer. So if you're doing like a background and you want your background to be one solid color, the solid layer is a way to do that. What's nice is that I could animate this layer, so you know I'm slowly revealing the photo, or I could apply an effect to it, or there's a whole bunch of other options. But I just want to make sure we got too far ahead that I showed you what a solid layer is and how to make one. So that's a solid layer. In this case, I'm just going to drop the opacity. Yeah, that's fine. So to do text within After Effects, come up here and grab the text tool. There's two basic ways you can do text, just like any Adobe program pretty much at this point. I can click. Once I click, I can start typing. Wow, that's so beautiful. How about, let's write a poem. The sun was golden and not blue. The dog cried when he took a poo. That's right, guys. I should be a poet. Forget writing. So I have a text. When you have text, over here you're going to have options. Your effects palettes disappear and you'll have the character options. And just like when you're animating, you have a little slider, so I could hover and adjust all these options, you know. The font weight, well, that won't make a difference here. The kerning, and all that kind of fun stuff. It all shows up. In addition to just clicking and typing, another thing I could do is click, pressing and holding down to draw a box, and then I can type inside the box. Here I am typing inside a box, and I'm making this up as I... Oh no, where's my eye? There it is. As I go, don't you like my song about typing in a box? Alright, so that's good for now. It's a little wonky because I was just playing with the text tools a second ago. I just gotta fix these real quick. 0. What in the world just happened? Auto. Let's just go auto everything. 0. Oh, that's what happened. There we go. So yeah, it was the kerning was just boring. So anyway, so I have all the font in the box. If you notice, instead of keep on running, kind of like this one up here, kept on running, it hits the edge of the box and it pops down to the bottom. I'm gonna grab the text tool. Oops. So using the text tool, if you look here, the box appears. I can reform this. And as I reform the box, the text also reforms to stain the box. If I make the box smaller than the text, the font is still there. It's just invisible and you can't see it. So depending on what you're doing, like let's say I was doing like a newsreel and I had a lower third graphic at the bottom saying, you know, WMZT TV reporter Bob Dole. You know, I might want to go ahead and use a box, put it in the shape, so that way the text will always stay, you know, the proper width and proper height. But we're going to get rid of that because I don't really care about text right now. Delete. So going back to effects, there are a slew of text effects. As always, you can type stuff in there, but it's a crapshoot to see if you're going to get text effect or not. So let's just click the arrow, number, time codes. These are not the text effects I was thinking of. Hold on. There you go. Text organic. That's what I want. Animation. So, see, I wasn't even looking in the right place. What I wanted was animation presets. So, animation presets, text. There's a whole bunch here, but the organics are really fun because a lot of the text effects are something I could do myself, like have this text go from here to here. I mean, that's just a basic position animation, right? But these effects are pretty cool because they would take you a long time to actually do them. Okay, they may look cheesy. Like, watch this one, watch this one, watch this one, ready? It's like, oh my gosh, my text is boiling. Oh no, it's boiling. That would be a pain in the butt to animate yourself. But, you know, a quick drag over here makes boiling text real simple. Now, mind you, off the top of my head, I can't really think of when you would maybe want boiling text, but the point is, these organic animations can help you really quick do them. Let's see, what's another one? Let's grab wheat field, because I have no idea what that does. Oh, look, it's swaying like it's in a wheat field. Yeah, it's kind of cool. And once again, this is a basic-looking organic animation that would be tedious as hell if I were to try and do that for each letter. And then, as with all effects, I could go over here to the effects panel. And there's paths down here for how to animate it and adjust it. Normally, if you're using the organics, you probably don't want to adjust stuff too much. But yeah, those are basic use of how to, or that's a basic tutorial on how to use and make use of the effects. All right, until next time.